So glad everyone is here. Chainsaw Man 173, insane chapter. Arguably the worst so far. I mean, no Kobeni. Where's Rize? You know, if Chainsaw Man didn't regurgitate the goat this chapter, I probably would have dropped it by this point. And all I gotta say is FUJIMOTO, more like Fraudy Motor. So, this week's Chainsaw Man chapter was a bit of a peculiar one. We see the effects of the ear devil being swallowed, and not only does it erase the ears of humans, but also everything. Anything that has an ear, it's all gone, all around the world. Nobody is able to hear that well. Some even drop their phones overall. This is just a lot of chaos created over the ear devil being eaten by Chainsaw Man. It seems as well that public safety has gotten together a group of people to see if any of them can remember the word at all or what ears are, and well, none can, and so she confirms the situation to Team C to commence their operations. And so far, I'm actually really impressed with how public safety is able to seemingly have some sort of answer to every action Chainsaw Man has taken thus far. I mean, they have multiple teams showing up to try and stop Chainsaw Man as best they can. At first, I was just like, well, public safety, they have no possible chance against Chainsaw Man. They're incompetent, they're flailing without Makima. And while that may outright be true when it comes to more direct head-on battles with Chainsaw Man, public safety still has so much up their sleeves. They're not exactly, just flailing about. And that's really what this chapter was good at showing. Public safety isn't exactly not a threat just because Team A got destroyed or because they don't have Makima or whatever. This chapter really felt like FUJIMOTO was like, hey, don't underestimate these people. And then we see, well, that kind of play out with the public safety agents that are in this bathroom without any ears. They break out the scissors and I kid you not, they begin to cut their index fingers completely off. They then write down the English letters HIT while saying cervical spine, neck, and vertebrae on 3 mirrors to summon this new devil. And it seems, as well, obviously, that this devil takes sacrifices in the forms of fingers. And let me tell you, the design is absolutely glorious as well. What an incredible design from FUJIMOTO. It looks like something from Bloodborne or Dark Souls 3. And what's really unique is the 2 naked dudes who hold up the chair have their ears. I wonder if wherever HIT is, if Chainsaw Man's power doesn't work there. I mean, this was before Chainsaw Man vomits up ear, and this guy clearly has ears. So yeah. As well, I love the chair design too. I mean, you got the half mouth and tongue and nostrils, which looks so grotesque. The chair is made out of spine, ribs, scales, fingers, rib cages. It's such a cool design for just a chair, and I mean, HIT as well. They look great too. Almost look like this tree figure kind of thing. For some reason, I think it's neat that this devil is seemingly wearing their own versions of heels too. It's just a neat attention to detail that I really love, and I like that this kind of symbolizes that maybe HIT takes offerings in the forms of human organs or body parts. But what's crazier is that there is this clear display that shows up before HIT, and it's HIT size, and we also see what HIT looks like from the front. It's a head between a split skull. I thought at first this would just be 2 heads side by side on one torso, but this is also equally as cool as well. I want someone to mod this guy into Elden Ring as a special boss. I think it would be really awesome. He would also fit in really well with Elden Ring too. This leads to a giant hand coming out from, well, a similar transparent panel and quite literally swatting down Chainsaw Man with his fists. I mean, wow, just such a cool panel. It reminds me of Metallica's Worst album. But even so, Chainsaw Man is fearsome and slices through it, and HIT, all he can say is, ouch. And I love how FUJIMOTO always makes devils so nonchalant to his attacks. I mean, sort of reminds me of when Fami goes, elbow. It's also cool because, instead of being Kakarot, that ki blast of over 9,000 was insane. How am I supposed to recover from this? Humanity, Kakarot. I am the prince of all Saiyans. Nah, HIT's just ouch. And that's about it. I think it works because you always expect there to be some big reaction in traditional shonen, but FUJIMOTO is so in his pocket that he pulls little humorous stuff like this off with seemingly relative ease. But instead we get, is that Yoshida? Is that actually him? Well, if it is, he's taking his opportunity to wrap up Chainsaw Man in tentacles and have him vomit up the ear devil, which, you know, like I just said, this is another example of Fujimoto's boundless creativity. It's a funny little panel, but right at the end, after he vomits up the ear, you see the elephant, well, has ears now and is happy. It's just a small thing, but because of the way it's framed, it's much more memorable than someone just explaining to you what happened in words, which is Fujimoto's entire style of writing, by the way. He's gone on record to state that he doesn't want to bore people with explaining details. He wants his readers and viewers to figure things out for themselves, which is kind of exactly what we've been doing every time a new Chainsaw Man chapter comes out. But what this does is properly explain how Chainsaw Man's powers work in a practical sense. To reverse the effects of Chainsaw Man eating something and erasing it, you first must force him to regurgitate the metaphorical food he has eaten. So obviously there have been plenty of theories about what this could mean. I've heard some say the goal is to get Chainsaw Man to regurgitate nuclear weapons as an example, which is an interesting theory because you would have to imagine nuclear weapons would be a major use to anyone in the world right about now. It would give humanity back its bargaining chips as an example to keep the peace, but also possibly be used to stop major devil attacks. I've also heard possible theories that since Denji ate Makima, that maybe even she could return now if regurgitated. I don't know how true that would be since technically it was Denji that ate Makima and not Chainsaw Man, but that indeed would make things a little awkward, and we do know Makima and Nayata's control effects are still in play currently, even after Makima's death, and as well Nayata's proposed death, but once again, I don't want to believe she's dead. You can't make me. But, you know, then again, we don't know what Chainsaw Man has swallowed, to be fair. Remember when Makima said something humorous about the coffee devil in the first handful of chapters, by the way? Well, here's a new theory. What if Chainsaw Man swallowed human history? If that is the case, could we be headed towards an, well, dare I say it, Attack on Titan level twist that completely upends the entire world of Chainsaw Man as we know it? Like, think of it this way, you know, kind of like the current Chainsaw Man knowledge, it's a lot, but we only really know about the devils for the most part. Hell, I think we know about Asa Mitaka's side hustles than the world the story is set in a more, like, we know a lot of little details, sparse details, but nothing really concrete. So, like, what if Chainsaw Man ate so much that it effectively erased history itself, and for humans to even keep track of history? We also have to ask as well, why in the world did public safety choose to do any of this? Why not just kill Chainsaw Man outright? Why hit him really hard with the Saint Anger Fist? Well, I mean, I've got a theory. Because they already knew of Chainsaw Man's powers, and if that's the case, then they knowingly sent in these absolute Sunday morning jobbers to come up, get eaten, so public safety can make Chainsaw Man regurgitate a devil, which just so happened to be ear in this instance, so they could confirm what Chainsaw Man is capable of right in front of their eyes, and make plans in regards to that. Because after all, intel is very important in things like this. Now, this also gets back into the human history thing I was talking about. How does public safety, under this assumption they don't know about Chainsaw Man's abilities yet? I mean, he's kind of like well-known and fearsome. I mean, it could just be they just don't know. But who knows, really? Fujimoto out here making Chainsaw Man as layered as of a read as a new One Piece chapter right now, and maybe I'm a little scared about that, because I don't know what the hell is going to happen, you guys. Though it does make me curious, what is even going to happen by the end of this arc? Like, are they going to make him regurgitate even more? I could also see the fight really just ending in a couple chapters. That being said, I could also see it proceeding with Yoru versus Chainsaw Man for a couple, which I so hella want to see. All I know is that the GOAT is back, boys, and I need to hear your thoughts on the chapter and your theories. Also, big shout out to the people yelling at me about my Discord link not working. That was my fault, and it should be fixed up and ready to go. If it's not, then I forgot, and you need to yell at me again. Also, another big shout out. Last video did, like, insane. Nearly 17,000 views, almost 70 new subscribers. Thank you all so much. I mean, this is a hobby channel, for Christ's sake. This is insanity to me. So thank you to all the new folk, and I hope you enjoy your stay. Thankfully, Fujimoto has abolished the bi-weekly devil, and we'll be back next week for a brand new chapter and video. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.